Welcome to Uma's Lotus Lounge. We're on the MeetMe app. Welcome in to Uma's Lotus Lounge, a featured stream here on the MeetMe app. Hi guys, my name is Uma. I am a top badge streamer here on MeetMe. I'm also a live streamer on TikTok and YouTube. And this is my weekly show. It's a show for me to check in with you guys, set the vibe for positive intentions for the week, talk about whatever's on my mind, right? And just have fun with you guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. I truly, truly appreciate it. We're going to first start with an energy message of the week. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Let's see what our angels, our spirit guides choose as a message for us this week. Ooh, I have a great topic for today. My topic today is called Soul Tired When Rest Isn't Enough. So I feel like this message for everyone is going to be very on point with my talk today. All right, the message for everyone today from our spirit guides is begin to explore. Are you feeling more curious than usual? Are you suddenly desirous of a grander, more creative, and more sensual life than the one you have now? Would you like to rebel against what's kept you suppressed or what seems like forever? If so, be glad. Your divine energy is reigniting the seeds of light and creativity in your true being. This sudden longing for a more expanded life is your soul's way of saying, it's time to lead you away from submission to a fearful ego and back to your true, joyful spirit. Rather than fight crazy impulses, follow them, even if they make no sense or have no specific direction. Your divine energy is calling you to expand, embrace, and explore new horizons. It is directing you to trust and try something completely out of the ordinary. It's time to free your spirit and take chances. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. I will be taking a lot of deep breaths today. Have you ever heard the term soul tired? Because that is exactly what I have going on today. And I'm sure if you understand what I mean, you probably are going through it too. All right, let's get our affirmations going. We're going to have 3 affirmations, card A, card B, card C. And you guys get to choose your affirmation. All right? If you're watching me on TV, or YouTube, Facebook, just put it in the comments. What card would you like? Card A, card B, or card C? card A, B, or C? All right, let's start with card A. For those of you that chose card A, your affirmation this week is, my fearless freedom lights up the world. My fearless freedom lights up the world. So for those of you that chose card A, you are being told to step up. In what ways have you been shrinking out of fear? Does it feel like darkness all around you? Well, you can change that. Your fearless freedom lights up the world. That is the affirmation for those of you that chose card A. All right, for those of you that chose card B, this is your affirmation. I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. I am unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. So for those of you that chose card B, this is saying that you can have what you want, whatever it is that you desire, you can have. We live in a bountiful universe that is here to give you your desires, but it requires some form of commitment from you, right? You have to put that energy out there and focus on only what you want. Don't get distracted by anything else, because then you're going to lose the momentum that's building. So focus on what you want to go on. All right, and finally, for those of you that chose card C, your affirmation is, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. This message is kind of similar to message 2, right? For those of you that chose card C, how is fear limiting your life, your experiences, your adventures? You have to expand your perception, expand what you're looking on, so you can see the whole picture and not just a piece. All right, those are our affirmations for the week. Welcome in, everyone. My name is Uma, Top Badge B, and this is my featured show, Lotus Lounge. Thank you to everyone who tunes in weekly. This is the positive metaphysical way to start your week. Now we're going to go into our astrology and our horoscopes. So each sign will get their horoscope for the week. But first, let's look at some key astrological dates that are happening this week. Today is Monday, February 16th. And today, the sun in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus. This can heighten our awareness and thirst for knowledge. So if you've been feeling today like you want to do something more, you want to learn more, you want to expand, that's because of this insight, this transit that's going on. Today, we also have Mercury in Pisces creating a trine with Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. What does that mean? This is a great time to look at things from a different perspective. So if the way you're looking at things is bringing you harm, sadness, depression, making you fight with your loved ones, it's time to be the bigger person and say, I need to look at this in a different way, right? Now, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. tomorrow, February 17th, Venus and the North Node of Destiny align in Pisces. We can expect unconditional love and support tomorrow. I'm happy to hear that. Surgery. So let the universe shine on me, right? Also tomorrow, the solar eclipse in Aquarius shakes up our lives, initiating change and growth. February 18th, which is Wednesday, we have the sun entering Pisces, bringing more creativity and emotion into our hearts, spirits, and minds. And finally, on Friday, February 20th, we have Saturn and Neptune form a conjunction in Aries, which adds a sense of belonging between everyone in the world, resulting from global evolutions. Now, when I hear something like that, immediately I'm going to go to the political landscape, right? What is going to be happening on Friday, February 20th? Could be, right? Global evolution. Saturn and Neptune form a conjunction in Aries. Well, you heard it here first, right? Welcome in, everyone. This is Women's Lotus Lounge. It's a featured show here on the MeetMe app. Just a metaphysical way to start your week. All right, let's get into horoscopes for everyone. If I call your sign and you're here, please put yes in the comments, put the name of your sign, put your symbol, because if I don't see anybody represented, I'm going to cut the paragraph in half. All right? We have a lot. We have 12 signs to get through. So if you hear your sign, right, just say, yes, that's my sign, and then I'm going to give you the whole message for your sign. I'm starting with Aries, but it's good to know that we have enough Aries there. All right, do we have any Aries in here? Any Aries? No Aries? All right, I'm going to keep it very, very casual. Aries, sorry you guys are not represented. Aries, this week you will take on a nurturing role within your friend circle right now. Tending to other people's problems might feel like an instinctual calling, but you'll need to loosen the reins if people aren't willing to take your advice. That is for Aries. Do we have any Taurus in here? Anybody that's Taurus? Okay, great. Taurus, this week there is a fine line you're teetering between working for money and holding the career of your dreams. Know that there is no such thing as a perfect job, which is why a side project or hustle will elevate your drive. You'll be motivated to give your all to this endeavor since it is breathing creativity into your life and adding pep to your step. So that's going to be the energy this week for you, Taurus. Any Geminis in here? You're welcome. Any Geminis? Yes, the big Aquarius energy. Gemini, pay attention to how people make you feel over the next couple of days. And don't let their sense of self-importance diminish your own self-worth. Luckily, the week will close out with the moon camped out in Taurus starting on Saturday, giving you a chance to emotionally reset while bringing you back to your true self. Do we have any Cancer in here? Cancer sun, moon, or rising? Cancer? Welcome in, everyone. All right, Cancer. Being the center of attention will come easily right now, which will definitely come in handy if you're trying to catch the eye of a new romantic interest. Do we have any Leos? Leo sun, Leo moon, Leo rising. Leo, if you are on the hunt for, okay, I'll read the whole thing. If you are on the hunt for new romantic conquests or want to elevate an existing one, try to position yourself within the arts community. These vibes will bring you good vibes wherever there's a creative outlet, and friendships making it the perfect time to cruise the scene with your closest allies. Later in the week, your social life will be in high gear. Beautiful. Leo, sounds like a great week for you. Do we have any Virgo? Virgo sun, moon, or rising? Virgo, Pisces season kicks off on the 18th, activating the sector of your chart that rules intimate relationships. If there is a casual or long term love affair that you've been hoping to take things further with, these vibes can help you get there. Just be mindful that you're not repeating relationship patterns. Hey, I already did Gemini, Caitlin. But I always say to people, if you guys come in and you missed your sign, you are welcome to spin a wheel and we will spin the block and come back to your message, okay? All right, Libra. Do we have any Libras in here? All right, Libra. Despite your calm exterior, you're one of the most driven and motivated members of the zodiac, dear Libra, striving for perfection while others might settle for mediocrity. The beginning of the week will have you ultra focused on your career. Try to remember that work isn't the only thing that matters, and try to set aside some time for play as Pisces season kicks off. Because this week we have Pisces season kicking off, right, guys? Beautiful. All right. Are there any Scorpios in here? Scorpio sun, moon, or rising? Scorpio, a gentle current of nurturing yet exciting energy will manifest in the middle of the week. You'll be surprised where the conversation takes you right now, which will give you the insight you need to decide whether you want to move forward with a romantic partner. Sagittarius. Do we have Sagittarius in here? All right, Sag. You've earned a few days off from work and the excuse to get away. You don't even have to spend a fortune when planning your seasonal trip. The most important thing is to share time with friends and family. Keep in mind that you can also have a getaway in your neighborhood, right? What about Capricorn? Where are my Capricorns? You know I'm going to read the whole thing because I'm a Capricorn. Capricorn, don't work so hard that you forget to take care of yourself and give your significant other attention. Allow yourself to spend equal hours divided in three ways: working, taking time to rest, and implementing a self care routine. Class, please. Do not overextend yourself and burn the candle at both ends. You deserve a break to conserve your energy. I'm laughing because one, class over, and then two, I literally have an outpatient procedure tomorrow. I have to do an endoscopy, part of my whole breast cancer journey. I'm going to talk about it in a second. And I literally named the title of today's show um, Soul Tired, when rest isn't enough, because I'm soul tired right now. I'm going to talk about it. So, of course, these horoscopes are always going to, they're just going to get you, right? But I promise you guys tomorrow I'm going to take off. After this thing in the morning, I'm going to take off the rest of the day. All right. Do we have Aquarius in here? I think I saw somebody before. There we go. Aquarius. The vibe will heat up at home while the temperature chills outside, which means that it's prime time for cuddling and becoming one with your significant other. The flip side is that you may want to stay at home and spend a lot of one-on-one time with yourself. If you do, understand it's the time to clear your schedule to yourself of all your attention. All right? Moody, please. And finally, Pisces. Pisces season is loading, and we have 111 people in here. Let's go. Thank you, class. Pisces, Mercury and Venus can lead you to great experiences and opportunities because it is connected with your sun, the fourth node of your destiny, offering a helpful karmic and energetic boost. Even if you're feeling lonely, avoid the temptation to return to toxic people, as the comfort you feel will be fleeting and can ultimately get in the way of your next great love. That is the message for Pisces. That is the message for all the zodiac signs this week. That was your weekly horoscope. Now remember, if you spin a wheel, you can get me to go back and repeat your horoscope. And at the end of the show, I will give you a weekly reading related to you based off of your energy. All right. Let's take a nice deep breath in and exhale. How many of you, put a one in the comments, how many of you have been feeling like the energy is different? You don't have anything really going on, but it just feels really heavy, right? A lot of people are processing things quietly, and we're all connected, right? Like I know we like to think that we're separate from each other, or I begin here, you end there, but we're all from God. Doesn't matter what name you call God or source or the universe. We're all from this place. We all came together, right? The world right now is going through a heavy period. Do you guys realize that? And as much as we feel the heaviness of this energy, do you guys also feel something else? Because I'm going to tell you something is coming. And I say that as a psychic, and I say that as a medium, and I say that as a seer. I see into the future. This energy feels heavy, but it's also clarifying. I don't know if you guys realize this, but there's a lot of things coming to light. We have the Epstein files. We have undercover things that are being brought to light. A lot of the manipulation in the entertainment industry. I'm thinking Diddy, right? I'm thinking people who are cheating on people in social media or celebrities or whatever the case may be. It's all coming to light, right? There's a very strong clarifying energy here. But that doesn't stop us from feeling it, feeling the heaviness of it. As much as we think this energy is chaotic, it's not chaotic. This energy out here right now is reflective. So have you been taking time to reflect? Be honest. How many of you, put a one in the comments, have been meditating? Put a two in the comments. If maybe you haven't been meditating, but when you make your cup of coffee, you've been just sitting and contemplating. Maybe not meditation, but just thinking about things, right? How many of you have just started checking in with people? Like, I'll be honest with you guys and tell you, I'm a loner, right? If this whole app Let me tell you something right now. If this whole app turned against me, I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be fine. I got my home, I got Netflix, and I got snacks. Good. I'm good. But the older I get, the more I realize that we need each other. How many of you are the eldest children in your family? Because I noticed something. I'm the eldest child in my family. And I feel that the elder children in the family, we had to like take care of ourselves in a sense. Okay, you're middle. Do we have any older children in here? You're the eldest in your family? Okay, baby. We got one oldest Serenity Mama. Serenity Mama, do you feel like that because you were the eldest child, one, you had to take care of yourself mostly because you're the eldest, you have a younger kid. And then two, you're just exhausted, right? Because you're so busy looking out for everyone and doing everything that it's just so tired keeping it, you know? I always pose a question each week, and this is the question I'm going to pose to each of you. What are you carrying that you don't have to carry alone? I didn't even have a childhood to tell you the truth, she said. Yeah. And not for nothing, but even like being in this space, right? You would think we can just come and relax and chill out because we have so much going on in our lives. But not even here, you can relax. There's constant trolls. There's constant traumatized people that are trying to offload their trauma onto you, right? We see it every day. We're seeing it right now with the trolls and all this stuff. And it's like there's nowhere you can go. Thank you. There's nowhere you can go and just have peace. Big bonus, right? These things wear on us because most of us we ignore. We ignore the people who have trauma and who are trying to get your attention or get a rise out of you. But it still takes a level of energy, right? It still takes a level of energy to ignore. Can anybody tell me where can we go and just be at peace besides the grave, right? Where can we go? Unless you're completely by yourself, there's nowhere really you can go and just be at peace. Yeah, we got to be by ourselves, right? In your brain, reflection. What would the world look like if a group of us were able to get together and just have all nice things happen the whole time? What would that feel like? Because I don't even know anymore. I'm being honest with you. Might be overload. I don't think we really know how to relax. Right. Because we can't relax. We always have to keep our guard up. Have you guys thought about this? We always have to keep our guard up. Yeah. Okay. Incredible says, I am peace and it goes with me. So check this. Let's say you go on to stream and you are peace and it goes with you. That's still not going to stop trolls from coming into your life and trolling you. And you might ignore it, block it, but it's still requiring energy from you. You see what I'm saying? And guess what happens? Those little energy leaks add up over time. And then guess what? Now we're tired and we don't even know why we're tired. And that's the topic I wanted to bring in today, because soul tired. Yeah, we're soul tired. Without me even telling you what that is, how many of you identify with that? Throw one in the comments. Do you feel you're soul tired? I know you do, Serenity. If you're an eldest child like me, I know you're soul tired. Yeah, being soul tired means you don't have an actual reason. You can have like a lovely day where you don't have to go to work, you don't have any chores, you don't have any company, but you are just tired, right? And that was where I began to understand something about myself. And I'm sure some of you can understand this. It's not an exhaustion that can be fixed by sleep. In fact, have you ever slept and woke up and then you were more tired than when you went to bed? You know, right? Or you ever drank coffee or had caffeine and you're still tired? Or you had a day off and you did nothing for the whole day and you're still tired? That's soul tired. It's more than fatigue, it's a heaviness, right? Soul tired comes from carrying emotional baggage for a long time. We see that a lot in people that are in unhealthy relationships, right? They don't want to leave the relationship, so they just stay in the relationship. And then because they stay in the relationship, it just wears them down and wears them down. And we've seen this, right? Haven't we seen people in relationships where they just look terrible? All their skin looks, right? It's like they age 10 years, right? How about this? You're so tired because you had to be strong when you didn't want to be strong. Hey, Professor, I'm doing my picture show work for you. How many of you that has done that? Being strong. Put a one in the comments. You've had to carry emotional weight for a long time. Put a two in the comments. You had to be strong when you didn't want to be strong. Put a three in the comments. You've been processing stress quietly. Life is out of control. These bills aren't getting paid. This health condition isn't going away. Can't do nothing about it. You just gotta kind of smile and wave, right? Put a four in the comments. You've been holding uncertainty, right? That's where I'm at right now. I have one more procedure tomorrow before I could have my real big surgery, and there's a lot of uncertainty about it. It's 50-50 right now. I don't know what the results are going to be until I go get this thing done tomorrow. But that makes you so tired. You have to carry that energy. Put a five in the comments if you've been making hard decisions. When I think about that sentence, I think about like older people, who have to choose between groceries and buying medication, like real hard decisions. Look at how many of you have to make hard decisions. This is crazy, isn't it? Put a six in the comments if you're currently anticipating change. You have a change coming. I have a change coming up, right? I'm about to be breastless, double mastectomy. My whole life is going to change. Put a seven in the comments if you are supporting others while suppressing your own fear, right? All of this is me right now. Because I still keep showing up here for you guys. I still keep showing up for all my friends who call me, who's going through problems or issues, you know? And I'm not complaining. I hope nobody in here is thinking that I'm complaining. I'm just talking about this concept of being soul tired. You understand now what I mean? Because we still have to carry on with life, right? Even though we're fighting our own internal battles, we still have to carry on with life. And it's not just me and my breast cancer diagnosis, it's you, out of spoon. Yeah, that's so tired. We're out of spoon, you know? That's why I'm asking how many of you are soul tired? Am I the only one? Am I the only one that's soul tired right now? Or are some of you understanding this too, right? Do this with me, chat. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale. Hand on heart. It's going to be okay. I am okay. Everything is okay. I am loved. I am loved. I will love. I have love, right? These are the things that I say to myself on a daily basis because there's no remedy for being soul tired. It's being soul tired is chronic emotional vigilance. How many of you have had traumatic childhoods? Let's be real. Let's have a real conversation. How many of you have had traumatic childhoods? Put a one in the comments. Do you know having a traumatic childhood where you did not have stability causes you to be on like emotional, like on the emotional lookout because you can't relax. You can't relax. You don't know what's coming next. You're on like hyper vigilance, right? I'm and anybody in here who was essayed as a child, you will always be on hyper vigilant mode because you don't know what's coming and you can't afford to have that happen to you again. Does that make sense? The biggest thing I want to tell you about being soul tired is that you're not lazy. Because how many of you judge yourselves for that? Put a one in the comments. Let's be real. You know you're soul tired. You know there's things that are overwhelming. And instead of being kind to yourself, what do? Oh, look at you, Oma. You're so lazy. You can't get up off the couch. You can't go and do this one thing. You can't go to the computer and just check this one thing. Like, how lazy are you? Yeah, we do. We beat ourselves up, right? That's why I wanted to have this conversation because I know I can't be the only person right now beating myself up. I know I'm not the only person out here that is just feeling overwhelmed every single day. And then guess what happens when you're guess what happens when you're this is like the irony of it all. You're so tired, you're fighting a million different battles that nobody knows about, and then you go out in public. Let's just say, let's not even talk about streams. You go out in public to have a nice lunch with your friends, and something doesn't go the way it needs to go, and you just snap. Has that ever happened to you? And it's just a torrent of emotion coming out, crying, screaming, getting angry, getting depressed, whatever the case may be. And then there is always somebody there recording. This is the culture we live in now. This is the culture we live in now. There's no compassion. There's no humanness. Nothing's private. No one cares. How many of us have come on these streams and watched people cry, watched people break down on here and laugh or recorded or went to the friend chat to gossip? Girl, did you see what happened to Uma today? But that's not everybody, because this is part of where the soul tired comes in again. Because there's several of you, despite what you're going through in your life, you have just enough energy to type, "Are you okay? I wish I could hug you." And those are the people I want to talk to. Those are the people I want to get to know. There's a very important reason we have soul tiredness. Do you guys know? It's actually part of a process. When we have soul tiredness, it's our spirit recalibrating. It often comes before your next big push. I don't know if you've noticed it. I've noticed it several times in my life. Every time I get real, real, real down, I don't give into it, right? I don't give into it. I keep fighting. I keep fighting to stay positive. I keep fighting to find the silver lining. I keep fighting to show up for everybody else, even though on the inside I'm dying a little bit every day. And then it just happens like automatically. One day I wake up and the sun is shining and I feel light. Right? Where did that exhaustion go? It just, has that not happened to you guys? It just disappeared. And then the next big thing comes. I get an offer from the universe, and it's big. It's almost like compensation for what I've been through. And that's how I realized being so tired is part of the process, right? Part of the process. So this talk is for all of you in here. If you're currently so tired, I want to tell you this: you're not lazy. You're not lazy. You're not tired. You're not exhausted. You're going through a shift. You're going through a change. And you have to stay positive. I was recently, a month ago, diagnosed with stage 2 breast cancer. And I had to really sit with that because I never saw for myself that I would have breast cancer. Call it ego, if you will. Call it delusion, if you will. I just never saw myself being a woman getting breast cancer. So that took me down quite a few notches. You know what I'm saying? It humbled me. And I had to really sit and say, Uma, what are you doing with your life? Because since you were 3 years old, you always knew you had a purpose in this world. And you've lived your life with purpose. But somewhere along the way, I got distracted. Has that happened to you? You know you have a purpose in this world, you know you're here for something, but somewhere along the way you got distracted. Maybe you got distracted by a relationship. You off your path. Maybe you got distracted by money and riches. Maybe you got a great job, but you did a lot of money and that distracted you. Maybe you got distracted by friends. You know what honestly distracted me? This app. This app distracted me because when I first started streaming about 5 years ago, I came on here strictly to promote my business. What I do, I own a metaphysical wellness center, and I saw this as a way to meet clients. Right? Do the math; it's easy. Let me put my location, my actual location. Then people in the nearby area would come to my stream, and then they would see all the things that I do, the psychic reading, the energy healings, the metaphysical stuff, the meditation. And I did all of that in the beginning, right? We would get up every morning and meditate on around 11 a.m. I would read a chapter from any book, spiritual book. We would do psychic reading, right? We would talk about metaphysical topics. It was great. A lot of happy people. Look, 222 people are in the room as I stated. I point out the numbers to show you that when you're aligned, you're aligned. And then I let the wrong kind of people in my stream, right? And then they started to run the stream. They started to tell me, if we focus on these things, the stream's gonna pop. If we do these kinds of things, your stream's gonna take off. Or you have a big gifter, and your big gifter wants this kind of content in the stream, right? But I can't blame anybody else but myself. I can't blame anybody else but myself because I allowed these changes to happen. I'm not blaming anybody, I'm blaming myself. I got distracted. And I say all of that to say that 32 days ago, when I got my breast cancer diagnosis, that was the first thing that came to me. That was the first thing that came to me. You know, you got distracted. So then I made the changes. I started getting more real back on the path. I started doing things I wanted to do, not care about what the big gifters or the popular people wanted. I can tell them. So why did it have to take me getting cancer to realize that? You understand what I'm saying? Not greed. It can't be greed because money is not an issue for me. It was distraction. That's all it was. Distraction. Oh, something shiny over here. Let me look over here. From me looking over here, I took my eye off the prize. The eye off my prize is my purpose. I know my purpose. My purpose is to connect people to the light within themselves. That's what I do professionally as a soul alignment coach, the CEO of a metaphysical wellness center. I help people remember who the heck they are. That's it. And I do that in a variety of ways, whether it's a phone call or a class or a coaching session or a program. There's different ways and different ways people want to get that. And I got distracted. That's all. So when I got my diagnosis, I meditated. I sat with it. I had God tell me, what is it I'm supposed to do now? And the voice was loud and clear. Breathe the next back to your person. I have to tell you guys something. A large reason why many of you are so tired, including myself, is because we got distracted and we stopped following our purpose. Do you know what your purpose is? Can you connect to your purpose? Before I came on here, I just had to do a soul plan reading for a client. She literally just signed up yesterday. And I didn't even get a chance to talk to her. She just signed up to my website, sent the money. I'm like, and then she picked 4 o'clock today. I'm like, an hour before my show. I didn't even get to prepare my show, right? But something in me, I needed to do this for this girl because I don't know. I didn't know why. I just felt like I needed to do this. So I got her information to do the soul plan reading. The astrology of her birth, the numerology of her birth, the psychic reading of her birth. And then as I started doing her chart, it was like 45 pages long, right? When I started doing her chart, I started like getting so much epiphany about why I needed to do this. And I talked to her, and she was upset. She was going through it, getting out of great problems. But it was a lot. She was going through a lot. But she really needed that call to kind of like recalibrate her back to her past. Right? So before I came on here, I said that is what I wanted my topic today to be. I know we're out of January. And usually when I talk about, when I do talks about change your life, I do them in January, right? New Year, resolutions, all of that. But I said, you know what? I want to do it today. You know what today is too? That's significant. What is today? It's President's Day. So look how beautiful all of this lined up. Like me following them, right? I had an idea about what I wanted to do on here. I didn't go with that idea. I stopped myself. I said, I'm going to stop being distracted. Follow the energy because something in my soul is telling me that out of the 244 people on here, thank you, class, there is one person that needed to hear this conversation today. There was one person that needed to have this information today. And because I'm connected back to my purpose again, I scrapped the whole show that I originally had planned for this, right? And we were going to talk about self-care, self-love, because it's just like Valentine's, right? I still got my Valentine's banner up, right? I wanted to change the format of the show because at the last minute, at literally 4:56 p.m., Spirit said to me, "Stop the show. Somebody in here needs to hear this." And I stopped the show. So today's a little bit of a somber mood than we usually are in the Lotus Lounge, but I feel like there's just somebody in here. Whoever this message is resonating for, I want you to know something. You are very special. And in God's eyes, you are precious. Somebody in here needs to hear that because you are so loved by God above that He moved the mountains here today for you. He made me scrap my whole show to come here and to tell you, you ready for this message? Put a 1 in the comments. Put a 1 in the comments if you're ready for this message. But I'm ready to give it. We want you to know that you walk in divine light and you are celestially protected. And to remind you that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Because you have proclaimed with your mouth and in your heart that you are His child. And because of that, He wanted to make it apparent and say, all will be well. And this soul tired that you're feeling, it's not exhaustion. You're not lazy. But it is part of the process. And what is required of you right now to have faith, to have faith that you too will make it out of this. The same way I'm going to make it out of all of this breast cancer journey that I am on, you too will make it out. And he just want to leave that with you. And I thank you for being here. And I thank you all for listening and for being patient with me as I received this message literally 4 minutes before we were go time. Thank you. And I'm going to tell you guys this. I know a lot of psychics, we don't talk about our processes or how we work, but I'm very open because not only am I a psychic, I teach, right? Self-development classes. I'm going to tell you guys this. As I'm on the phone with that lady that I do a soul plan reading for just before I came on here, right? I became so sleepy. I don't even know what I was saying to her. All I know is she was sobbing. Thank you, God. And I don't even know what I said to her. But when I have to give a message, it's something we call channel. Have you guys ever heard about that? It's something psychics do. We can channel, which means we become like a vessel for a message to flow through, right? When I call it the powers that be up there, right? And they need to reach somebody, we become like a telephone, right? So when I have to channel, I need to go into a sleep. It's like I need to go into a trance to receive the message, and then I can speak the message after I like wake back up, right? And I felt so bad for this lady because I'm like, I cannot do this. I said to her, but she loved it to the point now where she want to sign up for my 12-week program. I don't even know what I said. You understand? But all I know is I had to trust in faith that this was the right thing to do. Scrap my show. That I always work on my show throughout the week. Scrap the show, come here and give the message. And I did it on trust. And I did it on faith. And I'm glad I did. Because I see a lot of you in the comments receiving the message. I appreciate it. Thank you for the validation. Because if it was all crickets in here, yes, I had to trust the process, right? I don't know I don't know how this is going to be received, but anyways, as we come to the end of the show, I'm going to do. I know class you sent a wheel. Thank you. The love wheel is like my favorite wheel. I'm going to do a reading for class and see what extra messages come through for her. And I just appreciate you guys. I'm here every Monday at 5 p.m. Please Lotus Lounge. Today was different, but maybe today is the start of a new show. I don't know. The only thing I do know, thank you. The only thing I do know is what is going to change for me is I will continue to prepare my shows. I'm every Monday prepared to do it, but I'm also very prepared to just leave it alone and do exactly what I did here today. Because I am reconnecting back to my purpose. And my purpose is this, to be the communicator to you. Today, they wanted to talk to you about being so tired and to let you know you're not alone and to let you know you're not lazy and to let you know that this is a transformation that will be coming upon you. And if you maintain your faith and if you maintain a joyful attitude, the rewards will be bigger, the blessings will be bigger than you can possibly imagine. Be like Job, right? In the Bible, you all remember that story about Job? When God and the devil made a game out of it. And the devil said, Job only worships you the way he does because of all you've given him. And God said what? No, he worships me because he loves me. And the devil said what? Let's test it. How many of you are being tested right now? And how many of you are surpassing your test and staying in faith and walking in faith and saying, I got this. I got this because you got me. You know, when they diagnosed me with breast cancer, I didn't say anything. I was quiet. They thought I fell into like a deep depression. I didn't because I already knew I'm going to come through this. Like, why would God stop me? And I'm now getting started. Do you understand what I'm saying? It don't make no sense. No, I'm now getting started. You thought I was successful from what you see about me on the internet, 16 pages of me? I haven't even begun. I haven't even begun, right? It's so hilarious to me when people make fun of all my accomplishments or talk about my accomplishments. And I'm laughing because I'm like, I haven't even begun. I was a mother to 2 children. That was my role. And I did that. If you Google my name, Uma Alexandra Bipat, 16 pages will come up of all the things I've done. And I did that when my primary role was mother. Now my primary role is healer. Can you imagine what I'm going to do? Well, you can't. You know why? Because it's beyond imagination. And I speak that into existence. You know why? Because I know who I serve. There you go, then. And I say that to all of you who are afraid to show the world just exactly who the F you are. Show them. So what if they talk about you? So what if they gossip about you? So what if they make fun of you? They will never get to the levels you are going to get at. Understand this. When you see on the road dogs barking and chasing cars, they only do that to cars that are moving. They don't do that to cars that are sitting still or parked. If people are talking about you or gossiping about you or lying about you or making up stuff about you, good. You're going places. And your success is irritating to their soul. That's not a you problem. That's a them problem. Keep going. Keep going. So I end with a message from the goddesses. I'm going to stop and go anywhere. I owe you a reading. Thank you for my love wheel. Let's see what goddess chooses us. Thank you. Of course. Thank you, Beth. Love you, class. Of course, we get this message because when you are in alignment, everything is in alignment. Look who chose us. The goddess Sekhmet. Do you know who she is? She's the Egyptian sun goddess, a fiery protector who's married to the Egyptian deity Ha. Her name means strong and mighty. She's connected with lions, symbolizing her fiercely protective nature, and sometimes appear with a lion's head and a human woman's body. Call upon Sekhmet to shore up your strength and power. If he is not talking today, I don't know when. Sekhmet says, be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. Message from Sekhmet. See yourself as strong and victorious. Don't complain about anything. Don't blame anyone or any condition. You are the embodiment of strength, not victimhood. As you rise above the old tendencies and see yourself in the new light of beautiful feminine strength, your life will automatically shift in miraculous ways. You'll attract new opportunities, forms of abundance, and relationships to help you manifest your highest potential. Being strong means seeing yourself in the most favorable light you can imagine. Be real. Allow yourself to feel genuine emotion, but most of all, be strong. Isn't that what I was just talking about recently? The message for today, the message of this week, be strong. You're soul tired for a reason. And the reason is you are about to be into your next transformation. God got you. He got you. He got you. He got you. I say. So be it and so it is. Namaste. Thank you all for showing up here with me today. I truly appreciate you. And I hope that my message